Minister that has been reported from, in fact, Hubballi, where during the course of the roadshow, as you can see in that image, a young man managed to get into the entire convoy of the Prime Minister and come within touching distance of the PM just for a few seconds before he was whisked away by the police personnel present over there. Let's go across to Imran. Imran, take us through what exactly transpired. How did this individual manage to reach so close to the Prime Minister? He was, of course, an enthused supporter, one can understand, but if he had other intentions, the outcome would have been very, very different.
Well, absolutely, Madhav, is a big security breach on the part of the police here and the intelligence department that a man could get to so close to the Prime Minister during this roadshow. And what we're getting to know, he was the supporter and he wanted to garland the Prime Minister himself. But that is what we're getting to know. But we have to wait for the Hubballi police's statement as to what they have to say about this security breach and whether they managed to question and whether is that just what was seen on this footage, or they had any other intention. But what is important is that despite whatever his intentions, the man could breach the protocol and manage to reach close to the Prime Minister. If he had other intentions, it could have been very deadly, and it cannot be accepted any part that there could be breach of security of the Prime Minister. And now this Prime Minister arrived today at the Hubballi airport around 3 o'clock, and there was a massive roadshow which started right from the gates of the airport till the Hubballi railway playground where we are right now, where the Karnataka Chief Minister addressing. In a short while from now, PM will inaugurate the National Youth Festival, and after that he'll going to address the youths who have assembled from across all states of India as part of the National Youth Festival. Now, during the roadshow there was a breach of security. From the visuals, you can see a young man breaking the barricade and coming towards the Prime Minister and trying to garland him. But however, he was immediately whisked away by the police there. But a big breach of security on the part of the police there. We are waiting for an explanation answer from the police if they have also interrogated and given get more details about the youth. We have to wait for the statement from that. But breach of protocol has happened, and the visuals are there on the screens. What we initially were getting to know that he wanted to garland the PM himself. So we have to wait and see whether the police he had any other intentions after the interrogation by the Hubballi police.
All right, we have Rahul Ishwar joining us on the phone line. Please stay with us, Imran. Let's go across to Rahul Ishwar. Rahul Ishwar, it appears that this was definitely a security breach, because as per the protocol, that even if the Prime Minister is part of a roadshow, certainly nobody is allowed to get in this much proximity of the Prime Minister, because it almost appears that he was just inches away from garlanding the PM when he was whisked away by security.
This is a very serious issue. I hope PM security is so preordained. Everything is minute to minute is prepared, second to second is prepared. Even the distance between people are fixed in early. So if one person got so close, it's a serious security breach. There should be accountability fixed. There should be people who should be held responsible, and it is very unfortunate. And all the top leaders of the nation should accord such high security, and PM is in the most high security zone. So it is really shocking. How can a person get so close? Was it the wrong attitude of the people who are in the security? Was it some kind of other lapse? Was it oversight? So definitely there needs to be an investigation. There needs to be proper accountability fixed, and there needs to be some people's heads who are rolling. And please remember, such an incident occurred in Kerala when Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister, when his car driver missed their turn. Even ADGP was given a memo at that point of time. I still remember, it was, I think, Manoj Abraham. The ADGP was given memo, given punishment and disciplinary action. So it's a very serious issue. The PM of the larger democracy of the world, it's a very serious issue that should be taken seriously, and accountability should be fixed.
Well, absolutely. And in fact, we know very well, Rahul Ishwar, that it is not just the SPG at the level of the centre, but also the state government and the state police that has to play a major role, at least as far as the outer cordon is concerned. So while nobody can be absolved, and in fact, let me take that question across to Imran as well. Imran, the Prime Minister's security is not just manned by his own security or the SPG itself of the centre, but also the local police, the state police has a major role to play as far as the outer cordon is concerned. So certainly the state police also is answerable as to how this breach happened. How did that person enter into the sanitized zone?
absolutely, Madhav. It's a very important question. We have to wait for the agencies as to what they have to say, and especially for explanation to the Hubballi police, as there's a serious lapse in the security of the Prime Minister there. This was a road show. There were people who had lined up both across the road and who had come in large numbers to see the Prime Minister. And what we see, a lot of enthusiastic supporters, whether who wanted to reach close to the Prime Minister and personally wish him and welcome him. But this is no excuse for a breach of security. And what if the person had other motivations? So it could have been disastrous. We tried to reach out to the commissioner, Hubballi commissioner, looking for a statement of that. We have to wait to get a statement from them, and they whether managed to interrogate and get the person anymore. Apart from what is obvious, we are assuming that there is any other intention on the part of the youth who breached that protocol and came close to the Prime Minister. We have to wait for the explanation. But a serious breach of protocol and very serious levels, and we have to see what action will be followed after this, because this is simply not acceptable that someone could breach such a tight security protocol and reach close to the Prime Minister. What if someone had other intentions? It would have been really disastrous. Now the Prime Minister has safely reached the national...
Stay with us, Imran. Please stay with us, because we have with us the former DGP of Maharashtra, Mr. Praveen Dikshit, joining us on the phone line. Mr. Praveen Dikshit, thank you so much for speaking to Times Now. From the visuals that you are seeing on your screens, there appear to be multiple violations that have taken place, because there are not one, not two, but multiple layers or cordons of security around the Prime Minister when he's out in the public, such a function like a roadshow. In this case, there appears to be a security breach, but that has happened on multiple levels, it appears, sir.
No, I think what needs to be looked into is whether there was a proper mock drill conducted beforehand, and I'm sure it must have been done. In spite of it, there are sometimes some deliberate attempts being made. So whether it was a deliberate or whether it was accidental, that will have to be probed. And I'm sure the concerned agencies, including the SPG and others, they will also examine how these breaches have taken place and what steps need to be taken. I'm sure the responsibility will be fixed. But it is always advisable to avoid such narrow places, if there are any, which can create bottlenecks in the traveling or in the road shows. Thank you.
All right, sir. Sir, now, in a situation like this, as you rightly mentioned, a number of aspects need to be looked into, Mr. Praveen Dikshit. But primarily, we can see that there are policemen standing in the background, what appears to be traffic police, if I'm not mistaken, in the background. And also, of course, we see immediately the SPG personnel rushing in to intercept the person, but not before he has managed to reach that garland to the extended hand of the Prime Minister. This raises some serious questions, because while this person may have wanted to greet or garland the Prime Minister, if it was a person with other intentions, it could have led to a very different kind of outcome.
Surely, but sometimes it is a decision to be taken on the spot, whether a person is dangerous or whether he is coming with flowers or whether something, as you rightly said, something else. The decision has to be taken on the spot. In fact, I would say such eventualities should not be encouraged under any circumstances, because you don't know what is the intention of the person who is reaching there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dikshit, for joining us. Mr. Dilip Trivedi is with us, as the former DG of the CRPF. Mr. Dilip Trivedi, it appears to be a massive security breach.
Yes, definitely. It's a security breach. And there is no question of trying to gauge the intention of anybody. The point is that nobody should be allowed to come that close. And the person should have been intercepted, and in case at the maximum what would have been done was to take the garland from him and later, dispose it off, saying that, okay, we'll provide it, give it to the VIP. But there's definitely not an issue of allowing somebody to come that close to the VIP. This is a definite breach of security, yeah.
Sir, in your long experience of policing and from what you can see in the pictures, does it appear to have been a breach at the level of the outer cordon, which is normally manned by the state police? Where do you think the failure has happened, judging purely by what the pictures that we have on our screen?
No, it's an all-around failure. You see, there's an outer cordon, and then there is the SPG, which forms the inner cordon, and the SPG is the last bastion as far as security is concerned. So breaching the SPG is a serious issue, and it is definitely calls for a lot of introspection on part of the SPG as to how this has happened.
Absolutely. So you're saying that neither the SPG, which of course comes under the center, nor the state police can really absolve themselves of the blame, because it appears to be an all-round failure, which is very, very important, what you're saying, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And in such a situation, what would you think should be the appropriate action that could be taken? Because in many cases in the past, when there have been breaches of Prime Minister's security, not just as far as Prime Minister Modi is concerned, but past Prime Ministers as well, as one commentator was just telling us, action has been taken, disciplinary action has been taken against the responsible officers. What do you think, sir, would be the future course of action from here on?
Yeah, of course. Definitely, it would require some kind of action on part of the supervising agency, supervising officers who are in these organizations, and exactly what is the kind of action to be taken has to be decided by them. But it does call for some serious action. Yeah.
Very important, sir, that serious action is required in this particular case. We will, of course, be keeping our eyes and ears open for what really transpires following this incident, because this does appear to be a massive breach as far as security is concerned, because the security personnel, the SPG, could not prevent that individual from reaching up to the Prime Minister, which, as former IPS officers and senior IPS officers are sharing with us, appears to be a massive breach of security at both the outer and inner cordon levels. Let's go right back to Imran. Imran, very important news coming in, and in fact important observations coming in from former IPS officers and top brass of various forces, who are telling us that this is definitely a breach. And what is very significant is that both the SPG as well as the outer cordon manned by the state police, both have very clearly failed over here, because both failed to intercept this individual within time.
Well, absolutely, Madhav. There is, the senior officers have indicated that it's definitely, with all parameters, it's a security breach, and it's a breach of protocol has happened there, and both agencies, both national and state, will be pulled up for this. We have to see what the explanation they have to give, and also any action will be followed up on this. And more importantly, they have got ascertained whether who this youth is, beyond what we are assuming that he wanted to get close to the Prime Minister, some enthusiastic supporter, he wanted to Garland the PM himself. Beyond this, is there something more to this person, and whether he has other motivations other than what is assuming at the first instance of what we see the visuals. So that has to be ascertained, and plus the antecedents of the youth has to be investigated, and plus how did this breach of protocol happen is what we have to look into. We have to be waiting for an answer. In fact, we spoke to the Hubballi Commissioner, right, and he said that he'll get back to us with an answer on this. At the moment, they have taken the youth and they have started questioning him.
Well, a lot of answers and a lot of explaining that the police there in Karnataka have to do, the Hubballi police to be specific, and also, of course, the SPG, because this kind of a breach is certainly something that is not expected when it comes to the Prime Minister, who has perhaps the maximum security in the country. Certainly, this kind of an action is not expected, especially in the context of the past security incidents that we have seen, which have, in fact, endangered the life of our Prime Ministers in the past as well. Thanks so much for joining us, Imran, with that update, and we're going to move on to another top